Here's how this engine is single-handedly destroying GM with multiple class action lawsuits. Now, this is GM's 2.4-liter engine that's a part of the Ecotec family, and it was used from 2006 to 2017 in a bunch of models like the Cobalts, the Equinoxes, the Terrains, the Veranos. Now, during that time, they had a pretty solid run from 2006 all the way up to 2010, but it wasn't until 2010 where they realized that, you know what, we got a solid platform, let's go ahead and figure out a way to ruin it. And they did just that. In 2011 model years, they added the high-pressure fuel pump, made it direct injection, increased compression ratios, and did a bunch of changes that absolutely destroyed this engine. Now, these engines were known for having timing chain issues, leaks from the rear main seal, clogged PCV, exhaust leaks from the manifold, fuel pump, high-pressure fuel pump that leaks, misfires, oil consumptions, and the list goes on. But perhaps one of the biggest issues is these pistons. Now, to make this engine a little more efficient and meet EPA requirements, GM decided to use aluminum pistons with low friction oil control ring, and that single-handedly destroyed this engine. Over time, these friction rings start to wear down, which allows oil to get inside the combustion chamber and start burning it. And now this engine burns about a quart for every 1,000 miles. Now, here's the big issue that causes all these problems. This engine, GM requires you to change the oil every 7,500 miles, and it holds 5 quart. Now, I went ahead and I did the math. I'm not the best at math, but even I can figure out if we're burning 1 quart for every 1,000 miles and we hold 5 quart, by the time we get to 7,500 miles, we'll be negative 2.5 quarts. And some of you guys may say, well, you know what? That's not an issue. Just go ahead and top off the oil. But you got to take in consideration on the demographic for vehicles like this. Most of the time, people who buy cars like this, the Equinoxes or Terrains, they're mostly moms who are taking their kids to school, people that know nothing about cars, and GM knows their demographics. And unfortunately for a lot of them, they ended up getting stranded on the side of the road because their timing chain went out from low oil pressure, or their rear main seal is leaking because the PCV valve is clogged, or the car misfires because the exhaust manifold is broke. I mean, the list just goes on.